What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the top 5 gaming disappointments of 2021. This is going to be a kind of all over the place list because it's not just about the games itself, but about gaming, and I'll explain what I mean as I get there. I didn't even know if I wanted to do this as a ranking video, but here we are, so I will be putting these in a rank, and we're going to start out at number 5. This is a pretty personal list and all, by the way, so just, take it for what it's worth. Number 5 for me is the game 12 Minutes, and I have some specific reasons why. So again, this is really only going to be a game that maybe disappoints like 10, 20 people across the entire world, and that's okay. This was a game that I was hotly anticipating, okay? There was really 2 indie games in all going into this year, I would say, that I was like this. 12 Minutes and then Kena, Bridge of Spirits. Kena nailed it. Everything I wanted, I got. In fact, I even got some surprises that were good. 12 Minutes, I don't not like the game. I don't hate the game, but I will say I think it let me down. It definitely did. It was a very short game. I beat it. I feel like I beat it. I don't remember exactly, but I recorded my entire playthrough. I think it took like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and I was really expecting the game to be a little bit longer than that, considering it was announced like 6-7 years ago. That's just me. The ending of the story is I'm not going to spoil it, but it created quite the stir online, and I'm not even sure if I really disagree with all the stuff that people are saying about it, because it's quite a take. It's quite a decision that they chose to do story-wise in this game. Again, I don't not like this game. I did overall enjoy it, but it didn't hit my benchmark of what I thought this game could be. Coming in at number 4 is Deathloop. This was kind of shocking. I wanted to put this here because it just wasn't, I think this is controversial, and that's okay. Again, we don't have to agree, but I would say of all of the games that I played this year, the games that I was maybe a little bit more down on, like I look at Destruction All-Stars, I don't really think any of us were expecting like the greatest thing of all time from that game, so what we got kind of matched it. For Deathloop, I would say of the big group, especially of those big AAA games, to me, it just was not very good at all. I played it entirely. I beat a lot of games this year. I played a lot of games this year, and I beat a lot of them. And I did both of that with Deathloop. And again, I don't know if I hated it. In fact, I would say no, I did not hate it. But I don't think I enjoyed it. Like, I played it. It took me 3-4 days to play. I did quite a bit. I experimented quite a bit. I played online as well. Like, I tried that part of it. It just didn't grab me, and I said it before, like I've never been the biggest fan of the Dishonored franchise, but I feel like I'd have a newfound respect for it after playing Deathloop, because I feel like they took steps back from Dishonored, and although, again, I never really was into those, I feel like those are probably a lot better. I don't know, I feel like this game is a very torn game on the internet. I don't think it should have won any awards, or it should be winning any awards. There's some people that say it's their game of the year. Totally fine. I totally respect that. It was just a game to me out of the big, Resident Evil, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, like all of these big games that you can think of, Halo. It really just didn't do anything for me. There were 2 other games, though, that fall in the same category, and that is the shooter category, that I do want to give credit to on this list. So number 3 is going to be Call of Duty Vanguard and Battlefield 2042. I will combine them because they both left the same impact, I think. And granted, they are a little bit different. Battlefield, we've hit rock bottom. I don't think we're going to get out of rock bottom for at least another 1 to 2 Battlefield games. Like, we still have to suffer another game or maybe even 2. But, and maybe you could say Call of Duty is not like that, but neither were impressive. Again, there's of course going to be people that say they loved it, and then it's completely fine. I don't think I hated Battlefield 2042. The more I played it, and I did get better. I mean, I was god-awful the first couple days, but I did get better. My kill to death is around like a 1, I would say, at this point, which is better than it was. I'm learning to enjoy it a little bit more, but the second Halo Infinite came out, the multiplayer, I was done. And I haven't gone back to Battlefield 2042 since I picked up the controller to play Halo Infinite. So that, to me, says something, that there's just not anything that grabs me. And I think, actually, the user base of Battlefield 2042 falling apart after the first, 4 days really also sends a message, okay? So, again, in terms of rock bottom and glitches and bugs and everything missing from the game, right? That's really the biggest thing. Just all of the stuff they've taken out over the last 4 to 5 Battlefield games that could have made this game incredible. That's glaringly what's not there, okay? And then for Call of Duty, now I want to be careful and I want to be fair too, right? Because I didn't play this year's Call of Duty, all right? So I don't have too much to say from an actual playing perspective, but from a outside perspective, it felt like there was just the least amount of interest or anticipation for this COD than any others. And as I've said before, it wasn't just that. It wasn't just a feeling, right, that I have in my body and soul. It wasn't like what I gathered from my Twitter community. No, you also see sales of this game not living up to past Call of Duty games. So it's not just... Now, again, did it sell horrible? No, it sold really good. But for a Call of Duty game, it didn't do so well. And so I feel like we're at a point with COD where it's not just, it seems like nobody was talking about this game, because it's felt like that for a couple years. For a couple Call of Duties in a row, I've had that sense. For this one, it easily felt the worst or the biggest lack of care. And then also it seems to be backed up with sales of the game. So another franchise just not going in a right direction. I watched the Angry Joe review of it, which was very, very good for Call of Duty. That's kind of the most information I have on COD. But I would put both of those games on the list kind of equally tied in their own way. Number 2, I want to kind of go way off the beaten path, and this is, again, maybe is more of a me thing. The second biggest gaming disappointment of the year was the gaming media, and I haven't talked about them in like a wrap-up video any other year but this year, but I feel like if I did, they'd be like a reoccurring, this would be like a reoccurring candidate or nominee or winner on any of these past lists, because, and I guess follow me through, I hate the gaming media. So many of them are awful, right? The IGNs, Kotakus, Polygons, PC Gamers. I talk about them all the time when they just do really, really dumb things, when they cancel people, when they do things that they hate other people that do them, you know what I mean? But then they do them themselves. It's always awful. It's always awful with them. The gaming media is truly falling apart. They're losing power. They know both of those things, okay? And they're just trying to kind of hold on to whatever they have left. And I just wanted to kind of make that known that it's a disappointment, by the way, because you need journalists. You need people asking questions. Now, I think they could easily be, replicated or replaced in general with YouTubers. If you gave YouTubers the same resources you gave somebody at IGN, the YouTubers would absolutely crush them, okay? It's not even a competition in my mind. So, in my opinion, it's only a matter of time till these game journalists just lose everything, and then it's just handed over to people like us over on YouTube, okay? So I just want to throw that in there. I don't like them. This entire year, from start to finish, we've just had some of the worst articles, some of the worst takes, some of the worst people, some of the worst anything that we've ever seen, and it just kind of keeps getting worse every single year. Number 1, though, going back to games, but not on a specific release, is gaming delays. Gaming delays is my number 1 gaming disappointment for 2021. So I think this is what the year will always be known for. I kind of don't like that. I've actually been on the side of this year for gaming for the past 6 to 7 months. When everybody says, "Oh, this year sucked. This was one of the worst years for games." I've actually always been opposed to that, and I just kind of talk about the games I really liked. I think this was a very solid year, but of games in a serviceable category, not necessarily the biggest hitters of the year, right? There's not as many of them as there normally is, or as there will be next year or last year or whatever. But I do think overall it was a good year. But again, the stigma on 2021 is always going to be what it could have been. Hogwarts, Gotham Knights, 2 very classic examples of games. Remember, Hogwarts was delayed, I think, January 8th or 9th. It was very early in the year, this past, the January that just happened, or 11 months ago, and we got it right away. January starts, everybody's excited for the year, and all of a sudden one of the biggest games of the year, Hogwarts, gets pushed. God of War, I never thought was going to happen this year, but that got pushed. Horizon, I did think that could happen this year. That got pushed. Gotham Knights, we all thought it could be this year. That got pushed. Those are 4 big standouts. There are plenty others, and again, kind of trickled out throughout the year. There were many games that we thought could have Lego Star Wars, obviously, right? Lots of them. And I've covered a lot of them on the channel. They were all pushed, and that sucks. It definitely sucks. Again, I do understand it. What we could have had if even 3 or 5 of the games, say of like pick your top 10 games that got delayed this year, give me 3 of them, could that have drastically increased how good this year was? Of course it would have. So I understand it, and it is the biggest gaming disappointment because it's what could have been. I mean, imagine us right now, we could have played Ragnarok, we could have played Horizon, we could have played Gotham Knights, and we could have played Hogwarts. That should make you sad. It makes me sad, but not too sad because it's still coming, and next year is going to be incredible. So let me know what some of your biggest gaming disappointments of the year was. I have one more video left in terms of this kind of game of the year thing that I'm doing, and I'm very, very excited for it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.